Hello everybody, today we're gonna be taking a look at this unusual Warhood with burning flames. We're also gonna take a look at it in game. But first I'd like to say that ever since rainy day I always wanted myself an unusual Warhood for my heavy. But it just never looked right because of heavy short sleeves here. However, some of you may recently know that I did unbox one of these because these got released in the winter 2018 collection. I went with another hat originally and I was happy with that. But then I recently realized, oh my god, mainly because I was looking for something a bit, more subtle with this. I checked loadout the TF and I couldn't find anything. And then I hit it, the Warhood. And I was like, you know what, this actually looks pretty decent. And then I decided, you know what, now it's time. I want this hat. Even though originally I kind of wanted one of these for Spy, but it's only, sadly, only a heavy cosmetic hat. Which I think is a shame because this would look amazing on Spy as well. But you know what? At least it's nice and heavy. Of course, since I do go with dual effect, I have to use the Luchador, or I could use my Polar Pullover, which have some different clippings going on. But I feel like the Luchador actually looks the nicest, maybe from like a, I guess, fashion standpoint. Because if we look at the top here of the hat, it kinda fits with the pattern. Of course, this is also team colored, so it kind of makes sense that if you have like a sort of hat, it might have some different pattern going on somewhere on it. And then on the top, I feel like, okay, maybe there is a team colored mark there. That doesn't really matter to me. And then at the front, we have these that go through, but that's barely noticeable. It looks more like it could be like that. Well, that's just something that pokes out there, like sort of fangs or something. Makes it look a bit more edgy, I guess. And that's just it. And of course, we have the back here where, I don't know. I mean, okay, we have a basically covered up heavy logo. It looks like it kind of folds in, and then if you stretched it out, you could see the full heavy logo. So that's bearable. Plus, you don't really see it that much from the back, and you have the burning flames covering it up as well. So I do feel like that's okay. But then let's take a look at with the Polar Pullover. So here we have the Polar Pullover, which again, this is a very real option I could do, but I feel like if I have the Luchador and also the team colored thing looks pretty nice. But you know what, worst case, if I get too tired of the clipping and if the clipping just isn't good, then I can always use the Polar Pullover, even though I prefer locking it away from as many classes as possible. Like if a class have a cosmetic to use, then I'd prefer using that. For example, with Demo, he doesn't have a misc that he can use for double effect, so I have to use the Polar Pullover there. Soldier does have his Rex, but I feel like, you know what, I don't want to buy a Soldier misc just for Soldier. I feel like, no, that I don't owe him that, I mean. Just, I dislike Soldier, so I'm not gonna get those privately for Soldier. But I feel like the other classes have that honor, and they should have it. So here at first we just have it in general without the misc. I figured we'd take a look at it, how it just looks by itself first, and then compare to it, like how it looks with the misc. And all in all, very happy with it, especially on its own, but I do think that it can look pretty nice with the misc as well, so let's take a look. I mean, okay, you can see that it's a heavy logo, so at least that's pretty nice, I guess, if we have to be like, okay, this is how it looks with this cosmetic. I still feel like maybe the head should have been a bit larger so that it covered the Luchador, at least from the top and the back. Wouldn't mind if that were the case, but it still does look pretty decent, all things considered, with what you have to work with. You know what, I'm actually pretty damn happy, especially with how it looks at the front. Even with the clipping, it's not too noticeable, especially if you are playing the game and if you are fighting and the enemies that see you. And you don't really see it that much from the back anyways, that it might, be something you worry about. So I feel like it does definitely look pretty nice at the front, regardless. I've noticed something specifically. So now we have a hood on the heavy. We have a hood on the engineer. We have a hood on the sniper. We have hood on on my Spy. We have... That's also a hood. That's also a hood. And I mean, Warpig, that's basically a helmet hood anyway. So I mean, it kinda counts. And I have something in works for my Scout that might fall through soon. So I'll be probably showcasing that next. Which will also, spoiler-wise, be a hood. Alternatively, I was thinking about using my prehistoric pullover on Scout. But I feel like that's only for my engineer in a sense. So I'm trying this other thing first, and then I'll see if that falls through for Scout. And then with Medic, because of his misc, you kind of have to go for a Plague Doctor theme, which I went for with the Medic. But other than that, it's basically everybody else wears hoods at this point. So I feel like that's probably more my style anyways. And therefore I feel like I'm definitely happy with this addition to my heavy loadout. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you again next time.